Welcome in my workshop. And that guy over there, that guy is me. I'm an average guy with just a good amount of tools. But I have no system. Over the years, I have collected quite a few things. Some useful, some questionable. But somehow they all ended up in the same place. And to find anything, it usually starts with moving other stuff first. So, if you are looking for expert woodworking advice, you might be in the wrong place. I am not a professional. Most of the time, I'm just figuring things out as I go. But one thing I do know. Working in a messy shop gets annoying pretty fast. So my solution? Build a professional mitre station with extra storage. So I decided to buy some IKEA cabinets and start building. But wait, before building, first cleaning. With the workshop cleaned, it was finally time to build the mitre station foundation. One of the good things about assembling IKEA furniture is that thousands of people have already proven it can be assembled relatively quickly. But the bad thing is, it's now my turn. The thing about IKEA furniture is that once you have built one, you have pretty much built them all. You always follow the same steps and principles. And then, after some time, the first IKEA kitchen part will be finished. Then it was time to build the other two kitchen parts for the station. In total, I bought one corner cabinet, one full-length cabinet and one small cabinet with drawers. The total setup will be placed against the back of the workshop, just like in this design. So, before we move on, let me shortly explain the goal of this build. Because, as you probably have noticed, I'm trying to make this workshop a little bit more organized. And building a proper mitre station is one of the steps I'm taking towards that goal. Because I want to use every tiny bit of space as efficiently as possible. Because the goal is to create one dedicated place where I can quickly cut my wood without having to move half the workshop every single time. And let me tell you this, if this build turns out the way I hope it will, every future project should become just a little bit easier. And with the goal of this build explained, cabinet 2 and 3 were also done. Now that all 3 cabinets were finally finished, there was only one small problem. I had absolutely nowhere to put them. Looking back, it probably would have made more sense to clear the space before building new things. But now it was time for action. To make room for the workbench, I have to remove the old mitre station. Once the old mitre station was removed, I could place the first cabinet in the corner. Then I picked up the second part and placed it beside it. Finally, I adjusted the feet until both cabinets were perfectly level. To make the workbench extra sturdy, I screwed the 2 cabinets together. To build the other side of the station, I first had to remove my old flattening and storage setup. Don't worry though, it will be making a comeback, just in a slightly different way. So I picked up all remaining stuff and temporarily moved it outside. And while I was clearing everything out, I started wondering, Am I the only one who's always working in a messy shop? Every other woodworking YouTuber seems to have a perfectly clean workshop. I'm honestly jealous of how they manage to keep everything so organized. It's impressive. But after the cleanup was done, the workshop already felt reborn. Now that the flattening table was out of the workshop, I could finally move workbench number 3 into its final position. And since my miter saw is quite a big machine, I decided to add an extra 10 centimeters behind the cabinets using an MDF strip. To support that MDF extension, I mounted a leftover beam to the back of the cabinets. Later on, I will attach the MDF strip to that beam. That extra bit of depth will give me just a little more workspace around my miter saw, making it much more comfortable to use in the future. Finally, it was time to install the miter saw. To do that, I first mounted 4 shelf brackets to the frame. On top of those brackets, I installed a plywood platform. This will be the first base for the miter station. On top of that plywood, I placed 5 adjustable feet. Those small adjustable feet allowed me to fine-tune the height until the miter is perfectly flush with both workbenches. And with the saw finally in its new home, the build of this miter station officially come to an end. So let me show you a few final shots of the finished result. And to be honest, I know what some of you guys are thinking. But hey, where did the flattening table go? Do you not use it anymore? Don't worry, the flattening table will be back in the shop. And with that said, I would like to thank you for watching this video. And if you want to help me, subscribing would help me enormous. See you in the next one.